Unlocking nanoparticle insights. In the world of advanced science, we talk about everything from life-saving drugs to brand new materials. Some of the most important breakthroughs are happening at a scale you can't even see. We're talking about nanoparticles, and today we're going to dive into how we actually measure and understand them. That brings us to the big question. How do you measure something you can't even see? These are particles thousands of times smaller than a single human hair. It's a fascinating puzzle, and it's the one we're going to solve together right now. Alright, so here's our game plan. We'll start with the challenge itself, then we'll unlock the solution with light scattering. We'll see why it's such a game-changing technique, take a look at the Brookhaven Instruments advantage, and then wrap up by talking about how you can optimize your own research. First up, the nanoparticle challenge. Being able to precisely characterize nanoparticles is absolutely critical. In medicine, the size of a nanoparticle can be the difference between a drug that works and one that doesn't. In material science, how those particles behave affects the stability and quality of the entire product. So the stakes here are incredibly high. So what's the solution? We need something that's fast, accurate, and reliable, and that's where the gold standard comes in: dynamic light scattering. Dynamic light scattering, or DLS for short, is really a foundational technique for this kind of analysis. Now, you might also hear it called Photon Correlation Spectroscopy, or PCS, but don't let that throw you. They are exactly the same thing. It's good to know both names so you're in the loop. The best way to picture how DLS works is to think of it like a really sophisticated radar gun for nanoparticles. You shine a laser into your sample, and a detector watches how that light scatters off the particles. Here's the brilliant part. Smaller particles move around like crazy, so their scattered light signal fluctuates really fast. Bigger, heavier particles move slower, so the fluctuations are slower. Back to our radar gun analogy. The scattered light intensity fluctuations in DLS differ based on particle size, much like the reflected and detected radar signals from a moving car differs based on the target car's speed. By analyzing those light intensity fluctuations, the instrument can precisely calculate the particle size by determining the particle's diffusion coefficient. So we know what it is, but why is it such a game changer? Let's break down the core benefits that have DLS as an essential tool in labs all over the world. First and foremost, it's non-destructive, and this is huge. It means you can analyze your sample without changing it or damaging it in any way. When you're working with something precious, or maybe a really sensitive biological sample or a complex drug formulation, this is absolutely essential. And number two, it is incredibly fast. We're talking about getting really detailed, high-quality results in just a few minutes. In any research lab, time is everything. So this ability to speed up data collection can totally change your workflow and really accelerate the pace of discovery. So if we boil it all down, you get these three pillars of DLS. We've talked about it being non-destructive and super rapid, but you also get incredibly high precision. It can measure particles from just under a single nanometer all the way up to a few micrometers. And finally, it's versatile. It's used for everything from proteins and polymers to colloids. So let's add yet a fourth pillar. Let's take a look at a company that's been a true leader in this space for decades, Brookhaven Instruments. The key word here is experience. Brookhaven have been doing this for over 40 years. Just let that sink in for a moment. That's over 4 decades focused purely on pioneering light scattering technology. That speaks volume about their depth of knowledge, and all that experience translates directly into their instruments. We're talking about high sensitivity detectors that can pick up even the tiniest particles, and robust software that's user-friendly. It's all built for reliable, consistent performance, and it's all backed by some really dedicated support. In an age where everything is becoming automated with chatbots, where it is difficult, if not impossible, to reach an actual human for support, Brookhaven Instruments emphasizes having real experts there to help actual researchers with their specific challenges. It shows a real commitment to the scientific community. At Brookhaven Instruments, you have real people helping real people in real time. That type of customer support is slowly disappearing everywhere else. Okay, so let's bring this all back to you and your work. Because having the best technology is one thing, but applying it correctly, that's what really optimizes your research. And it all starts with choosing the right instrument and partner for your specific needs. Also, you can set up an instrument just for particle sizing that uses DLS optics, but what if you also need to measure something called Zeta potential? That's the effective charge of the particles in solution, and it's crucial for understanding if your suspension is going to be stable. For that, you use electrophoretic light scattering, or ELS. The best part? You could get both in a single instrument for a complete characterization toolkit, and there's a whole range of solutions for different needs. That is where the flexibility and expertise of a quality partner like Brookhaven Instruments shines. Brookhaven Instruments offers high-end research goniometers. Those let you measure scattering at multiple angles for even more detail, and even combined systems. There's an instrument out there designed for pretty much any application you can think of. Ultimately, it all boils down to this. The goal of using amazing technology like DLS isn't just about getting data, it's about gaining an edge. It's about empowering you to stay ahead of the curve, to innovate faster, and to develop better products. So I'll leave you with this one question. With the power to precisely measure this invisible world of nanoparticles right at your fingertips, what breakthroughs will you unlock? Contact Brookhaven Instruments today to see how they might be able to assist you with your nanoparticle research.